Happy Monday! Welcome to Monday Moxie. So you tell yourself that you're going to practice every day. 30 minutes, right? Today I'm going to get in a minimum of 30 minutes of practice time. Oh, but you know what? That laundry's not going to get itself done. And what's for dinner? Oh my gosh. If you're a child, there's so much homework to do. I have to be up until midnight just doing my homework. And I'm pretty sure that no matter how much time I spend on that piece, pretty sure it's always going to suck. So, I'll go ahead and do some of these other things, like go watch TV. Do you remember when practicing was actually fun? Do you remember when you were a little kid and you were begging your parents, please, I just want these piano lessons. I just want these singing lessons. I love singing. Do you remember the excitement of getting new music and all of the possibility that's in that new book of music? So what happened to that joy, right? That's the question of the day. What happened to that joy? Sometimes we all just take ourselves a little too seriously. And instead of finding joy in our practicing and our music making, we find work. Work is waiting for you at the piano when you open up your music to sing. Work. And since we focus on work, then all of a sudden, it's a 4-letter word. Joy goes away. So when the joy goes away, what do we do? We stop practicing. And then guess what? We don't experience the joy of practicing because, number one, we're not doing it. And number two, we are just taking ourselves way too seriously. So today, we are going to focus on some things that you can do to set your mindset and get back to practicing so that you can discover all sorts of things about your voice, about music, about finding joy in the process. So, happy Monday! You are here with me live for Monday Moxie, and I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you find a lot of value in today's broadcast. If you're watching on the replay, please type in #replay and let me know that you're finding this information helpful and useful, and just get in on the conversation, even if it's on the replay. Let me know what's landing for you. And if you're watching live with me today, can you let me know that you're here? Just say howdy or hello, drop a little love. I love to have interaction with all of you. So if you are watching live with me today, get in on the conversation. If this is your first time watching Monday Moxie, welcome. I am Amy Mushel, and I am a voice instructor at Mushel Music Studio, where I believe in nurturing the whole singer. That includes the mind, the body, and the voice. And as a voice teacher, it's my goal to foster whole body awareness, musicianship, and self-confidence, all leading to a healthy vocal technique. And more than that, I want to foster joy and love of music and the joy of singing. So if you are here with me for Monday Moxie, get ready for some pep some courage and some know-how and some determination, because we are going to be digging in to some mindset. We are in January, and here at Muscle Music, we are talking mindset. So let's jump in. Howdy, hi, Suzanne. Thank you so much for being here. Suzanne let me know that sometimes there's a bit of a delay in getting the comments, so I'm just pulling you up on my phone too. So maybe I'll see the comments a little bit faster. Okay, so let's talk practice and mindset. So first of all, my first tip is that what we really want to find in the practice session, or just in making music, period, is we want to find joy, right? That's why we started this whole musical endeavor, especially as a young person. We were so excited to explore our voice because our voice is a part of who we are. Hey, Dan, welcome to the broadcast. So glad that you're with us. Your voice is a part of your body. So you're born with it. It's a part of who you are, and it is a part of how you develop the way that you express yourself. And so we want to do that in a joyful way, not in a way that's all about work. So as we get into this, one of the things that I have found really, really helpful with finding joy for myself is, and this might sound cheesy, I'm just going to put that out there. You all might think that this is all cheesy, but affirmations. I find that affirmations at the beginning of my rehearsal process are really, really helpful. They help with setting that mindset towards finding joy, towards finding possibility, towards discovering new things. And if you're not using affirmations, what are the words that are in your head typically when you're going to start your practicing? Now, if you were here at the very beginning of today's broadcast, I was playing a little piano, and I did that because, it's really hard to play for other people, because when I do, I have all sorts of those judges that come in. Oh my gosh, you're going to mess this up. Blah. And so I just said to myself, you know what? I'm just going to start with a little doing something, number one, that is not like my primary instrument. And it's a way for me to find ways to just kind of laugh at myself and to laugh at my discovery process and my growth process, and to find joy in the growth process. So I wanted to share that with you. So if you were not here at the beginning, you can always go back to the very beginning and catch my piano skills. I only played a small part because my nerves. But we all, if we can find joy and we can set those affirmations for positivity and for growth, then we have much more of a chance of finding joy in our practicing. So for those of you who are here live, I want you to think about it. When you're going to practice, number one, how do you set yourself up? What are the thoughts in your head? Do you use affirmations? Do you think about like, okay, today I'm going to go and I'm going to practice my Traviata aria and I'm going to just see what I discover? Or are you going to be like, all right, well, I really got to fix this and I got to fix that and I got to fix this and I got to fix that. And okay, let's get some work done. Because I don't know about you, but did you notice the difference in just the tone of voice that came out of me? I didn't really do that intentionally. It just like, when I think of like, now I must get these things done, the joy kind of goes away. So when you think of affirmations, again, like you might think that that's really cheesy. I know that I did, until I started doing it and using it and finding how powerful it is to set that kind of intention before I play a single note or I sing a single note or before I get on the yoga mat. To just remind myself that things like, I'm here to grow. I'm here to discover something new. I'm here to see if there's a new way that I can do something that I've done a million times. I want to discover new music. I'm going to love myself no matter how much I might suck today. I'm going to love myself and I'm going to let myself shine. I know, sometimes when I think about this, it reminds me of, what was that SNL skit? Do you remember? Like, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. You all know what I'm talking about, right? If not, go check that SNL skit out. But here's the thing. The way we think before we even get started has the potential to set us up for failure and disappointment and frustration, or for joy and for gratitude and for growth. So where can you find affirmations? So I actually requested an affirmation calendar for my 2021 because I don't know about you, but there were some days in 2020 where I could have used a couple of affirmations. And the coolest part is that because there's one a day, I'm not throwing them away. I have a whole stack of affirmations. So if you need a couple, or if you find one that's particularly powerful, especially in light of your practicing and what will inspire you to find joy in your practicing, I highly encourage you to tape that, or, maybe not tape it on the piano, but, you could put it up on the wall, you could put it on the front of your book, you could put it up in many different places. This one I loved. I'm going to share this one with you. There is so much within me that wants to express itself. Today, I let it flow. Isn't that what music making is all about? Expression and putting ourselves out there to express our emotions and our thoughts and our feelings, or the feelings and thoughts of a character, depending on what kind of music you're singing. So affirmations are so helpful. In addition to that, there are affirmation apps. You could Google mindset affirmations, and there are posters that are created a lot of times for schools by teachers, and these are great. They're just short affirmations that just put us in a healthy mind space. So, if you are finding this to be helpful so far, I just want to remind you, if you haven't been here before, wait a minute, got to get rid of our affirmations thing, to type in #gold. Oh, look at that. It matches my brand new scarf. Look at that. Type in #gold and put in what little gold nugget is inspiring you today and what you might want to remember to take away into your practicing or into your singing or whatever, into life. Also, if you love the Moxie, go ahead and throw in some hearts and some thumbs up. Those emojis really help to get the access out to other people. So feel free to drop those in the comments if this is helpful. So, number 2. Oh gosh, I just thought number 2. Okay, you know what I mean. So here's the deal. Our second tip for today's broadcast when it comes to finding joy in your practicing is, guess what? You get to choose your reactions. Yes, you do. I know, I don't know, but for the longest time, I used to feel like I didn't really have a choice in the matter, right? Like my reactions were just what came up. But guess what? We have choices in how we react and the flavor in which we react. So, here are some ideas. Can you make a mistake like I did on the piano earlier and laugh like, oh my gosh, what just happened? I never missed that E flat. There it went. Can you laugh about it? Can you enjoy the fact that, oh my gosh, I just made a mistake? Okay. That's okay. That's part of the process. I will say that affirmations will help to put you in that space so that when you make a mistake, you're like, oh, there's that growth opportunity I have, right? Today I can choose to play that phrase again and see if I can have a different result. Yes, Suzanne. Well, that was interesting. Fancy that! What just happened there? I don't know. But I'm going to probably have to go back and play that again. Maybe 2 or 3 times. Yeah. And you know what? I can like play with it in a joyful way and enjoy the process. Or maybe you get a little angry and you get a little frustrated. I know for me, sometimes I have to pull myself back, rein myself in, because a little comes out of my mouth, especially on piano, because I'm like, Gah! And here's the thing. We talked about stories last week. We all have stories. One of my stories is I'm not really a pianist. I mean, that's not my main instrument. So I'm probably just going to suck. And guess what? That kind of I'm probably going to suck today mindset probably is not going to set me up for a whole lot of success. So it is a practice. Choosing my reactions, that is a practice in and of itself. And that is really important to realize. Like, it takes practice to choose how you will react to what is happening in the moment, right? Because we all have habits. We all have specific ways that we tend to react. It's just a knee-jerk reaction, right? Just boop, there it goes. Whatever that reaction is for you, can you find a process to say, oh, there's that habitual reaction, and realize, I can choose to continue with that reaction and continue to be angry and frustrated, and I can slam down my piano cover and I can storm out of the room and I can not practice for the next 3 weeks. That's certainly one option. Or you can laugh at yourself and you can say something like, well, fancy that. Wasn't that interesting? What's going on with that? I don't know. You can also, like, I'm not taking piano lessons right now. You know, like if you really want to dig into it, what in the world is happening? Number one, practice and exercising always helps, right? But, you know, I could always take some piano lessons. Oof. Who's got time? Who's got time? I know I don't have time for that right now, but maybe you do. So here's the thing. When you have anger and frustration that typically comes up, one of the things that I have discovered that tends to be a symptom of is having a fixed mindset rather than a growth mindset. So if you come in and you're like, you know what, I really got to fix this, and you keep making the mistake, well, yeah, you're going to be really angry because you're not fixing it. Or if you're just in this mindset of, I have to get this right, this has to be perfect, no matter what it takes, then you're probably going to get stuck in that negativity because every time you get something wrong, you get frustrated. It's anger inducing. So, another option, I will say I have occasionally felt this. I don't know. Hands up if you too have ever felt this. Oh, poor me. I'm never gonna get this. I'm never gonna fix XYZ. I'm never gonna be able to sing that aria. I'm never gonna be good at piano. Oh, woe is me. I have to admit, I've had my moments. Again, I am choosing my reactions a little bit more, with more intention, more purpose, my word of 2021, more purpose. And so I tend to again, laugh at myself if I have that thought. Really? You know better than that. But here's the thing, if you don't realize that is just a reaction to your frustration, to the fact that you have maybe a negative mindset that you've already started with, then you're probably, those feelings are going to lead you to, see, I told you this wasn't valuable. I told you there was no reason for me to practice. I just knew it. Because let's be honest, the brain's job is to say, ooh, there's a thought. Let's find all the things that say that thought is real, right? So it's going to search out all the possibilities to lead you to that mindset, that determination. And so with that, when that happens, yeah, guess what? You're going to find all the things that you do wrong. Every little nuance is going to be so frustrating. Oh my gosh, my musicality, my phrase shaping it was so much better last week. Well, if you think that it's probably going to suck, it probably is going to suck. So, rather than having some of those mindsets, rather than having I have to fix all of my mistakes, all of my problems, I need to fix myself and make myself right and perfect and all of those things, what if you set the intention and the mindset of, I wonder what I'm going to discover today? And here's the thing. If you have I wonder what I'm going to discover today, it could be, I discovered that when I play with my fourth finger, it tends to do that. It tends to bend back. Okay, well, I'm going to play with that then. Not oh my gosh, I suck, because every time I play that phrase, right? Actually dig in, well, what is it about that phrase? What is it? Is it just that you're having an adrenaline rush, like I know I was? Or is it that there is a technical thing that you can see, that you can feel, that you can discover? Panning for gold, says Suzanne. Yes, it's all about what's there, what's available to you, what is the gold in the process that is just waiting for you to find it, right? Because that's what practicing is really about. But here's the thing. That takes choosing today to laugh when you make a mistake and be like, well, what in the world is happening with that? And then to play with it, right? What is going on with that? I don't know. So, and then can you get excited when you notice, oh, I have this tension. I have this weird thing happening. I'm noticing this weird feeling. What is happening with that? I'm not sure, right? Can you be excited about the noticing and choose to, be excited, laugh, choose to find joy in discovering that there's something that's not quite working. And it seems like it's on this note. I'm going to sing that a few times. And I'm going to play with it. And oh, lo and behold, oh, if I move my tongue, if I shape my mouth differently, if I play with speaking, if I play with my breath, if I play with my posture, if I play with movement, there are all of these things that you can play with. And all of a sudden, can you be excited about that discovery instead of choosing to be angry and frustrated that it didn't go the way that you wanted it to go in the first place? Oh, Dan, I appreciate that. So Dan says, I'm glad that you're making piano comparisons. So much mindset is common in any kind of practice. Exactly. I'm serious when I say, like, I've been committed to doing yoga and music every day since probably the middle of the winter break for me. And I am noticing right now, like, I'm finally at the point where I'm feeling stronger in my yoga practice. I'm feeling strength in being able to create new shapes with my body. I'm noticing that I'm able to recover my breath more quickly. I'm noticing that I'm able to bend more deeply. And so all of it doesn't matter what it is that we're practicing. It could be hiking. It could be biking. It could be anything. It could be teaching. What is your mindset for teaching? What is your mindset when you're going to work with a client? All of that. We set ourselves up for joy in all of our life based on the way that we decide we're going to go through it as a way of growing, even if we make a mistake, right? We're going to make mistakes. That's like for our whole lives, we will make mistakes. I keep trying to tell my children that. They haven't quite bought into that. They think that perfection is what is expected. But it's a lifelong process. So here's another thing. If you find that you have a pattern of responses, if you have a pattern of anger and frustration, if you have a pattern of feeling like you're never going to get it, if you have a pattern of feeling like you've let yourself down or feeling like you've let somebody else down, or if you have a pattern of finding joy, if you have a pattern in finding purpose in creating music, just remember that those are your habits. Like, your reactions are your habits. And although habits can be challenging to change, if you are aware that you have that habit, then you have, okay, I can never do this. Then you have a choice, right? All of a sudden, knowing that this is, I always go into my practice going, okay, let's see what's happening today. Let's see what's going on with my tongue. Well, you're probably going to find a lot of tension there because you're looking for it, right? But if you go in and you're like, or maybe you're going in and you're going, okay, I've got to learn this piece. I don't really like it. Read over the words. Is there something in the piece that you can find to like about it? Or do you have to do that piece? Like, do you have a choice? For most of us right now, we kind of have a choice in what we're going to choose to work on, right? Like, we're not like, it's mandatory, I'm paying you to learn this piece. But for some of us, yeah. And so when you have to learn a piece that you're like, I'm being paid to learn this piece, I better find something to like about it and to find joy in, because otherwise that dislike kind of comes through in your voice. So let's pop back and let's just recap. So we're talking today about what are some things that you can do to find joy in your practicing and your singing and your yoga or your, like, whatever it is that you're practicing, right? So my first suggestion for finding joy was to use affirmations. Get yourself some affirmations from an app. Get yourself some affirmations from the Google, and set yourself intentionally and find the ones that work for you, right? Like, you can go through several of them, and you'll find that some just really touch you. And so if you find something that really impacts you, then write it on a card, right? Put it on your piano. Do something so that you're reminded, even when you're frustrated, that this was your mindset for today. So the other one is that you have a choice in your reactions. Oftentimes, I remember I used to say, it's just what happens. I just get frustrated. I just need to be good. Well, that is pretty much just my ego talking, first of all. Let's just, put that out there. My ego needs to be good. My ego says that I need to live up to some sort of expectation. But when I let go of that, then suddenly I have choices. And I'll tell you what is really funny. If you were listening to me practice my piano, I literally will go, I take that, and then I smile, I intentionally go, okay, that's okay. And I have found so much joy actually in, trudging through my piano, especially because it's not my main instrument. I actually find more joy in playing with it because I know I'm going to make lots of mistakes, and I'm okay with that. And so it's interesting to try to apply that to something that you care deeply about. And is not necessarily something that you're like, it's okay if I suck because that's not my primary instrument. But, this is what we have to do. We have to set ourselves up for possibility and growth. So choose your reactions. Okay. So, today, I do want to say that if you are interested in getting today's show notes for yourself, you can just type "find joy" into the comments, and I will be sure to get you those. So if you're interested in comments or in my show notes, feel free to drop "find joy." Okay, so we have one more thing that we can do to find joy in this process, in this growth process. And what that is celebrate every small discovery. And I wanted to say discovery so that it's not about winning, but it's discovering things that will help you to grow. And if we can celebrate with a smile, with laughter, maybe give yourself a little hand. Maybe dance it out, right? Woo! I just discovered something. Oh my gosh! I have to tell you that sometimes I do that. What is a meaningful celebration for you? That's the question. Because we all have different ways that we feel joyful and appreciated. And so, stickers, Suzanne, I love it. You know what? I have to tell you, one of the things that I've been doing for the new year is I have put my yoga practice on my calendar, and I have put my my music practice in my calendar, and I literally check every single day when I am done with my practice, whether it's yoga or whether it's music. I put a little check mark in my calendar, and I have not missed a single day. And you know what? That feels really good. And it feels like it's such a celebration every time I'm like, I did it. I did it. Even if it's only 10 minutes, I did it. On the weekends, I'm coming down and I'm playing piano and I'm singing and I'm finding joy in the process instead of trying to have to have something to practice for. Stickers, I love stickers. Is it something, can you put on a song and dance? I put on there. Go for a walk, right? Can you celebrate by going outdoors and going for a walk? Can you celebrate by having a piece of chocolate? Can you celebrate by repeating your affirmations and cheering yourself on with those affirmations? Yes, I am embracing my growth. Yes. Can you share the joy that you found with your friends on social media? And maybe they'll cheer you on. Can you make a recording of whatever it is that you've discovered? And maybe if you're studying with a teacher, can you send that to your teacher? Oh my gosh, I just discovered that if I do this, that I get a totally different result. And I wanted to send it to you. Oh my gosh. Can you write it down in a discovery journal? What are the ways that you can use all of these discoveries and find joy in them? Find joy in the process. So, I hope that you have found value in today's Monday Moxie, and I hope that you will use this as a way to continue to find joy in your practice of whatever this week, whether it's finding joy in cleaning your house, whether it's finding joy in doing your laundry, whether it's finding joy in walking your dog, whatever it is that you need to do, can you find joy in it? And that includes your practicing. So, quick recap for today. I want to say hello and welcome to Monday Moxie. And if you are watching today on the replay, I'm so glad that you are here. Feel free to drop in a couple of comments. Here's a quick recap of what we talked about today. Today we were talking about how can you find joy in your practicing and find joy just in life. What are the 3 things that you can do today that will make a difference in finding joy instead of frustration in what you're doing? So the first thing that you can do is you can choose to find affirmations. Affirmations that work for you, that will set the stage for joy and success in what you are choosing to practice. My second suggestion is to choose your reactions. You may find that you have a pattern of typical responses and reactions to what you do. When you find that you make a mistake in your practice, you may have a habitual reaction that comes up. However, you can choose a different reaction. As long as you are, number one, aware of what reactions come up typically for you, can you turn that around and say, you know what? Today, I'm going to create new possibilities with my new mindset, and I am going to laugh it off. I'm going to say, well, isn't that interesting? And choose a different reaction. And finally, what can you do to celebrate every small discovery that you make in your practicing? Can you celebrate when you notice oh, I'm having a little bit of tension in my thighs because I'm playing with my balance in a different way? My thighs must be working a little bit more. But you know what I'm also noticing is I don't have back pain. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I can definitely get on board with a little celebration of that, right? I'm going to have myself a little chocolate. What kinds of celebrations can you choose that are useful and helpful to you that feel like you are finding joy and celebration in the process? And finally, if you would like a copy of today's show notes, just drop Find Joy down in the comments and I will get back with you. And I'm going to be setting up a new mailing list soon. So if you want to get in on the mailing list, you can type mailing and I will send you a link so that you can get in on my Muscle Music mailing list. So, thank you so much for joining me today. I so appreciate it, whether you were here live or watching on the replay. I appreciate it more than you can know. And I hope that you find this helpful. That's ultimately what this is all about, is just spreading joy and spreading opportunity and possibility and hoping that you will find more possibility in your singing. So if you want more Moxie, join me Monday mornings here at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, noon Eastern, and I will be back with more pep, courage, and know-how, and I hope that you will join me live. Thank you so much, and have a great week, everybody.